Rakesh Malya, convener IC Fest 2025, to escort the dignitaries onto the dais. Thank you everyone. Kindly take your seat.
Warm greetings this morning to each of you gathered here today. Learning gives creativity, creativity leads to thinking, thinking provides knowledge, and knowledge leads you to excellence, was rightly quoted by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. It is an honor for us at SIT to welcome each one of you to the inaugural program of the International Conference on Frontiers of Electronics and Smart Technologies, IC Fest 2025. IC Fest 2025 describes the growing trend towards electronics in the world today. It is a multifaceted fusion of ideas towards better economic, social, human environment, which are the hallmarks of a progressive nation. We are indeed honored to have the presence of distinguished academicians with us today.
The world we build tomorrow is born in the prayers we say today. As we march forward with great hopes and aspirations, let us invoke the blessings of God Almighty. I invite Kavya and team to lead us in prayer. Kindly rise.
वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा ॐ नमो श्रीनिवासाय कामितार्थप्रदायिने प्रणतक्लेशनाशाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः वागीशादिजनानां च वचसां विपुलं प्रभुः सामादिकवन्दितानां विद्यां श्रियमहं नमः ॐ स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महिं महिषा गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्तं सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षन्तु पर्जन्याः पृथ्वी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः सज्जनाः सन्तु निर्भयाः अपुत्राः पुत्रिणः सन्तु पुत्रिणः सन्तु पौत्रिणः अदनाः सदनाः सन्तु जीवन्तु शरदशतम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः.
Thank you, Kavya and team.
An investment in knowledge always pays the best interest. I hereby request Professor Rakesh Malya, Assistant Professor, Department of ECE, to welcome the gathering.
Good morning to one and all present here. It is with immense pleasure and profound sense of honor that I extend a warm welcome to each of you to the International Conference on Frontiers in Electronics and Smart Technologies, IC Fest 2025. We are gathered here today to mark the beginning of confluence of ideas, innovation, and inspiration as we bring together academicians, researchers, students, and industry experts from across the globe. This event stands as a testament to our collective commitment to advancing knowledge and pushing the boundaries of what is possible in science and technology. It's my proud privilege to extend heartfelt welcome to our esteemed chief guest, Dr. Niranjana Sampatila, Professor and Head, Department of Biomedical Engineering, MIT Manipal. We are truly honored by your gracious presence, your distinguished contribution to the field of biomedical engineering, and your continued dedication to academic excellence and are deeply inspiring. I also take great pleasure in welcoming my principal sir, president of today's function, Dr. Srinivas Mayadi. Sir, your vision and leadership have always been a guidance force for this institution, and we are very grateful for your unwavering support in organizing this conference. Once again, welcome you, sir. We are also delighted to have with us Dr. Surya Krishna sir, Head of the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, and Professor Lokesh B, Head of the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. I welcome you wholeheartedly, sir, for this particular conference. A warm welcome to all our head of the departments whose efforts and collaboration have been crucial in making this conference a reality. A warm welcome to our students and participants both from within our institution and from other institutions outside. Your enthusiasm, curiosity and pursuit of knowledge are very essence of IC Fest. We are excited to witness your contribution and engagements over the coming days. As we embark on this academic journey together, let us use this platform to share ideas, build networks and inspire one another. IC Fest 2025 is not just a conference, it is a celebration of intellect, creativity and progress. Once again, I welcome you all and I look forward to a meaningful and successful conference. Thank you. Jai Hind.
I request Principal Dr. Srinivasa Mayadi to florally welcome our chief guest, Dr. Niranjana Sampatila, Professor and Head, Department of Biomedical Engineering, MIT, Manipal. I request Dr. Surya Krishna K, HOD, Department of ECE, to florally welcome the patron of this international conference, IC Fest 2025, Dr. Srinivasa Mayadi, Principal, Srinivas Institute of Technology, Mangaluru.
It's an honor to know more about somebody worth it. I hereby request Professor Satish Kumar, Associate Professor, Department of ECE, to introduce the chief guest, Dr. Niranjana Sampatila, Professor and Head, Department of Biomedical Engineering, MIT Manipal, to the gathering.
Good morning, everyone. Respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. It is our honor and privilege to welcome today's chief guest, Dr. Niranjana Sampatila, an eminent academician, researcher, and leader in the field of biomedical engineering. Dr. Niranjan S. currently serves as the Professor and Head of the Department of Biomedical Engineering at Manipal Institute of Technology, that is Manipal Academy of Higher Education, Mahe. With over 27 years of experience in teaching and research, he has significantly contributed to academia and industry alike. A senior member of IEEE USA and Fellow of the Institution of Engineers, India, Dr. Niranjana S. has an impressive academic portfolio that includes the publication of more than 75 technical papers, 4 book chapters, and presentations at over 35 national and international conferences. His innovation-driven research has resulted in 3 granted patents and 5 published patents, and he has also contributed to 2 multinational corporate research projects. Dr. Niranjana S. is a dedicated mentor, having guided 4 PhD scholars and currently supervising 8 more. His global academic engagement includes guiding international students under the IAESTE program from the CZEC Republic, Poland and Belgium. He is a respected member of several professional societies, including Indian Society for Technical Education, ISTE, Biomedical Engineering Society of India, BMESI, Systems Society of India, SSI, International Microelectronics and Packaging Society, IMAPS, Indian Red Cross Society, Image Processing Internet Group, Computer Vision and Pattern Recognition Group. With a career dedicated to advancing biomedical engineering education, research and innovation, Dr. Niranjana Sampathila stands as a role model for aspiring engineers and researchers. We are truly privileged to have him with us today. I am very much delighted to say that we were the colleagues in KVG College of Engineering, Sulya. Please join me in warmly welcoming Dr. Niranjana Sampathila, our esteemed chief guest. Thank you one and all. Thank you one and all. Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu.
Thank you, sir.
Where there is light, darkness cannot reign. Where knowledge has come, ignorance must quit. A glowing light ushers in good tidings and is a forerunner of new beginning. I request the dignitaries on the dais to light the lamp which is symbolic of the knowledge we disseminate. Kindly rise.
आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते दीपज्योतिः परब्रह्म दीपज्योतिर्जनार्दनः दीपज्योतिर्परब्रह्म दीपज्योतिर्जनार्दनः दीपो हरतु मे पापम् सन्ध्यादीपनमोऽस्तु ते ओ दीपब्रह्मरूपस्त्वं ज्योतिषां प्रभुरव्ययः ओ दीपब्रह्मरूपस्त्वं ज्योतिषां प्रभुरव्ययः आरोग्यं देहि पुत्रांश्च मतिं स्वच्छां हि मे सदा रवेरस्तं समारभ्य यावत् सूर्योदयो भवेत् रवेरस्तं समारभ्य यावत् सूर्योदयो भवेत् यस्य तिष्ठति
Thank you.
दीपः तस्य नास्ति तदेव
Education is the premise of progress in a society, and a happy life is one spent in learning and yearning for more. I request the HOD of Electronics and Communication Engineering, Dr. Surya Krishna K, to read the report of IC Fest 2025.
A very good morning. Respected Chief Guest, Dr. Niranjan, President of today's function, Dr. Srinivas Mayadi, Principal, my colleagues and students. In 2022, we have started the international conference with the name Technology for Industry 4.0 Revolution, and afterwards, every year we are conducting this conference. It is a platform to publish the papers for the faculties, our college students, and other research scholars. Amid the advancement in technology and recent changes, this time we have changed the name of the conference as Frontiers in Electronics and Smart Technologies, that is IC Fest 2025. Papers are invited for this conference in 6 tracks, namely VLSI, Embedded Systems and IoT, Energy Systems and Power Systems, Cyber Security, Machine Learning, and Electric Vehicles. We have made a serious attempt to publish these conference papers in Web of Science or Scopus journals. In this regard, several proposals were written to different publishers, but we have not got the approval. After that, we have made an agreement with International Journal of Research and Analytical Reviews and going to publish the conference papers in this journal. Microsoft CMT is used to manage the conference paper. This is the first time we are using this tool, and we have learned a lot. When we host the conference in this site, more people across India will have the access to our conference, and probability of chancing applying to the papers is more. For this conference, we have got 41 papers, among that 17 papers from different colleges across India. In this, 38 papers accepted and 24 papers registered for this conference. These 24 papers will be presented in 2 tracks today and tomorrow. Also, we have 3 keynote address. One is from today's chief guest, Dr. Niranjan Sampatila. Today afternoon, we will have the keynote address from Dr. Shamagan, and tomorrow morning from Siju Joseph from EDC. He is the E&E alumni of our college. All the best for participants. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I request Professor Cletus D'Souza, Assistant Professor, Department of ECE, to hand over the book of abstracts to Dr. Niranjana Sampatila.
We feel honored to have with us Dr. Niranjana Sampatila, a man of distinct vision and fountainhead of illuminating ideas, an idol of knowledge, experience and inspiration to all of us. I would like to request our chief guest, Dr. Niranjana Sampatila, to address the gathering.
Good morning. Warm greetings to each one of you gathered here. Respected Dr. Srinivas Maya sir, Principal of Srinivas Institute of Technology, Valachil, Mangalore, for inviting me for this one of the important activity of SIT, Valachil, that is Srinivas Institute of Technology, Valachil, an yearly activity of IC Fest. So I'll be very grateful for the institute for calling me as one of the chief guests here today. So my warm greeting to each one of you gathered here for the IC Fest. IC Fest, an international conference on frontier in electronics and smart technologies, organized by both the department, electronics and electrical and electronics, has interestingly put a lot of tracks together, and it is very important conference in line with the today's developments. We know that generally the conference is one platform which helps us to gather a lot of information, knowledge, and the network, especially network of people. When you go to a conference, we generally get a lot of friends, lot of new professors in touch with. We will be going to grow in our own network. That is where the conference really helps. I am sure that IC Fest is really planned with that direction, with around 6 or 7 tracks as mentioned. Even I remember my first conference where I had a lot of excitement like you people when I reached hall, I had a lot of excitement that I'm presenting my first paper in one of the conference. There may be surely some of the students or some of the delegates who present first time here. They will have a lot of excitement in the event. Generally, these kind of events will really help us to grow in different ways. We have to best utilize such kind of platforms. I'm very happy that a large number of students has shown interest in participating in this conference. And interestingly, the conference has started with some of the themes. When I see these important tracks of the conference, which are in line with the developments which are taking place currently, that is frontier technologies, which are happening in electronics areas and the computing areas. Because today we know that the developments, the industry development especially, is going towards 4G to 5G, fifth generation technology. We are moving with many of the developments, even in electronics, from the, I think most of you heard about the basic device, what we had earlier will be vacuum tube. Now we are moving from even MOSFET to some other quantum and so many things, right? The technology is always modernized, or you find that lot of development happens, transition happens, modification happens. Whatever as a basic what we interchange or exchange here in the conference will be something, latest updates during the current time, what's happening across different research groups. So I'm very sure that many research groups are sharing their thought process here during the conference. But one important thing is, when we are moving towards developments in the era of automation today, lot of technological changes. Even we are reminded by UN nation, like UN 2030 policies. I think all of you are aware of, there are 17 sustainable development goals. So in line with that also, some of the SDGs have been considered during the conference track when they are framing. I am very sure that they are in line with some of the SDGs of UN 2030 goal. Especially when we are moving towards generation 5th developments, we are going with more human-centric manufacturing or developments. So personalized based lot of gadgets or devices, or personal based lot of care has to be taken in every aspect. So sustainability is playing a major role in these areas when you talk about development. Also, plan has to be put towards sustainability. So United Nations 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, all of you know that it is to transform our world by promoting sustainability. Its important goal is to stimulate action over coming years in the area of critical importance of both humanity and planet, with a strong focus on prosperity, peace, partnership. Why I am mentioning all these issues, this kind of conference will be generally helping us to go with the partnership even. Knowledge exchange, and we are sharing our developments, and also it will help us to do a lot of partnership between academia or industry. I am very sure that the delegates gathered here will make use of the platform in that direction. But note here, the question of humanity, values of society and sustainability is a serious concern in this decade. So I am very sure, because of the conference theme, some of the development, you will be also keeping environment as one of the important agenda when you are going to develop further in your future. One more important thing is today we are proud to be in the forefront of technology in the field of electronics, and even we have proved that with a notable example here with our Operation Sindhura, right, recently held. So how the electronics plays a major role, right, or electrical or electronics. The developments in IoT or developments in cyber system or communication, right, or the developments what are happening in the current domain of your research, right, how it is going to impact, or how it is going to take care of the country, we have seen, right, during the Operation Sindhura. We are very safe, right, by protecting ourselves with a lot of electronic protection system, right. So these smart technologies were deployed extensively incorporating sensors, radars, that all the kind of developments, drones, communication system, right, with the artificial intelligence, edge devices, so on. There are a lot of technology involved, right. With these technology involving together, integrating together, the modern engineers or the current days engineers really has contributed many things. What is arriving at 200 kilometer away, today we can detect it, right? So it is how we can protect sometime. Anyway, why I am telling all this once again, I am just reminding that electronics student or delegates, some are participated here, should be really motivated in that direction. How we can protect our earth, nature, environment, health, humanity, society, all this you have to think about in addition to the development of electronics. I am sure that the gathered delegates, professors and other people will surely think about that in the future. I won't take much time because I have one more talk. I am very sure about that. I have to talk few more minutes with that talk. So as a chief guest, a small take home to some of the delegates, young delegates, try to master technology to become more effective and innovative, and also adopt strategic thinking to uncover the address the challenges posed by emerging era of agentic AI. So thank you for the opportunity, and I forgot to mention nicely I have been introduced to the gathering by my own colleague, earlier colleague, Professor Satish. I am very happy to see some of the colleagues where I was associated earlier, right. So thank you for the opportunity given to me to address in front of you. Thank you for the principal, and also I am very much thankful for the management of Srinivas Institute of Technology for giving an opportunity to talk and come in front of you for talking to you. Thank you very much. Jai Hind. Take care. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
I request our beloved principal, Dr. Srinivasa Mayadi, to hand over a memento to our chief guest, Dr. Niranjana Sampathila, as a token of gratitude and appreciation. Now I request our beloved principal, Dr. Srinivasa Mayadi, who is the backbone of our organization, to address the gathering.
Good morning. Respected chief guest of today's function, Dr. Niranjan, Dr. Surya Krishna, head of the Department of Electronics and Communication, Professor Lokesh, head of the Department of Electrical and Electronics, Professor Rakesh Malia, coordinator of the conference, my colleagues, participants and paper presentators, my dear students. We are happy that successfully third year we are conducting the international conference under the electronics and electrical department in our college. This year, the topic is very good topic they selected. That will be a frontiers in electronics and smart technologies. I see first. See, the name itself suggests that. I hope you understand. If you elaborate that, what's going to be happens. As our chief guest is already briefed about you in details. Can you able to identify any areas where electronics is not playing the role in nowadays? Whichever the area you go, you can see that basic part will be electronics. In that there will be a software part will be installed so that it becomes as IoT and people are applying whatever the things is going to be. So personal touch-ups for all the electronics things that makes the person's life going to be easier. That I hope you may be observing that. Take a mobile, start from the electronics and electrical things. Then is to be a computer science or other things will come into the pictures. So like that you think on that all the areas, it starts from the research will be on the areas of electronics and communications or electricals. Whichever that you say computer started from the electronics. Like that all the developments happening in electronics field that plays the major role in the market or in the society. So we are very happy that we would be able to organize this conference in the college. There will be good talks going to be happens by the eminent personalities. And there will be a 41 new research proposals going to be discussed or presented so that the ideas can be shared among the people. If we keep the ideas along with us only, we can't able to develop anything. When the ideas will be discussed by the many people and presented to the many peoples, the inputs will come. That input you can analyze it, you can able to further develop the good papers or good research works or good projects in the coming days. That's what is to be required. So this is one of the platform. Now as say that it's a frontiers in electronics, you may be looking that now medical field, as chief guest can able to give more details on this because it's a medical technology field, will be done the research and is doing the research also in that field. Look at that, you go to any of the hospitals, all electronics equipments plays the very important role. In the future days, what's going to be happens? Doctor will not come for the operations. Operations will going to be performed by the electronics devices only. That the day is going to come maybe within few years. Already it will be there like as a robot operations etc. You may be see that. Like that lot of developments is happening under electronics, but people has to discuss, come forward, share the ideas, then only the things going to be happens. For that, the various platforms to be given. This is the one of the platform to all of you to make a research papers, come and present it, share the ideas along with them, and again discuss. If you are not giving papers, please listen other people so that you can able to generate your own ideas in the coming days. Smart technologies, I hope you understand that. How the smart technology is going to be plays a very important role. Maybe now all of us using the mobile phones for our communications. Is it mobile phones is to be required in future days? The thinking will go on that level. It's not required. You require maybe only small part to be or small material to be attached to your body. Okay. You can talk it automatically going to be get transmitted, and whenever it comes, you just press or do something in that material, automatically you can able to hear it. Not required to carry any materials along with you like as a mobile phone. Mobile phone become as a bigger size. Earlier days it may be bigger size, now it is reduced, but it's going to be further reduced to the very small sizes with the different materials and different technologies. Okay, this is also going to be comes in the picture maybe 2030. That's what is the invention, so is going on that level. Say that was the frontier in electronics and the smart technologies. That type of developments is going on. For this, your all contribution going to be plays very important role in future days. So I request all of you to actually participate in the fest and make this fest to be a successful one, and surely you're going to gain a lot of things. When our college contacted Dr. Niranjan, even though his busy schedule in May, then also he's accepted our invitations to come here to address to you and give the keynote address after this event. That is the great things. He is supporting us for the electronics committee in the coming days. We know him from our old college, as Dr. Professor Satish is told. That time itself, he started working on medical technologies and doing the projects, giving the projects to the students. Like that, he was working in his old college also. Then he is shifted to the Manipal, I shifted to here. That's what is to be there. So he is keep on doing the research work, and he has made very good name internationally, and he is accepted to our invitations to come and address to you and give the keynote address to all of you. On behalf of Srinivas Institute of Technology, we are very grateful to Dr. Niranjan. So also I would like to congratulate Electronics and Communication and Electrical departments came forward and successfully conducting third year international conference in the college. I hope the event will go very smoothly, and 44 papers going to be presented, and surely all going to gain lot of knowledge out of this conference. I request all the participants actively participate, involve yourself. If you are presenting, well and good. If you are not presenting, listen from who are presenting the papers and keynote addresses. Surely you will be able to grasp your interesting areas so that you can able to do lot of future developments in that areas. With this, I request all of you to think what you learned on today and tomorrow, and you develop in the future days. With this, I wish good day to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
At times, our own light goes out and is rekindled by the spark from another person. Each of us has cause to think with deep gratitude of those who have lighted the flame within us. I would like to request Professor Gaurish Hegde, Associate Professor, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good morning, all. Thank you is such a prayer that cannot be seen or touched. It must be felt by heart. I feel honored and privileged to get the opportunity to propose a vote of thanks on this special occasion. I, on behalf of organizing committee, convey deep regards and hearty thanks to Dr. Niranjan Sampatila, Chief Guest of today's function, for his gracious presence. Thank you, sir. My sincere thanks to our beloved Principal, Dr. Srinivas Mayadi, President of today's function, for the constant support and motivation all the time. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank our management for giving us an opportunity to have such an international conference in our campus. Thank you. I also thank all the delegates who blessed us with their presence. I would like to thank Program Advisory Committee members and invited speakers
Words are not enough to thank their constant guidance and support to shape the conference. I am very much thankful to all the HODs, faculty members, and non-teaching staff members who always stand by us and motivate us. I feel proud to thank all technicians for making this event successful. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
I request Professor Rakesh Malya, convener IC Fest 2025, to escort dignitaries of the days.
So we are trying to give as engineer some solution to human beings, okay? But today's talk is focusing towards AI application of that. I mentioned in my guest talk also regarding the generation, technology generation, right? So as you find here, industry development, you can see the industry development started long back with several decades. Whether I'm blocking the slide? No, right? Yeah. So you can see here, 2010 onwards, the lot of developments happened in various industries, including electronic industry, right? So because of lot of development happened in the electronics industry, even software also got lot of improvement. Even applications are being seen developed in every area, including healthcare, okay? So there are a lot of modern gadgets have introduced in, or a lot of digital systems are being introduced in healthcare beyond 2010. So Industry 4 revolution, lot of machine learning, deep learning, right? AI applications later, right? IoTs, GPU you heard about, right? Development in the electronics, right? Computation, development, right? Towards computing with the ultra large scale devices, right? So because of all these developments, you find that yes, we are moving towards a next generation industry era where a lot of things might happen. Everywhere in electronics industry, including whenever electronic industry improves, as our principals are already mentioned, even in his talk also, you remember, he was also mentioning, whenever electronic field is getting improved, it is influencing even in healthcare or medical applications. Lot of digitization in healthcare is happening now where electronics engineers are playing a major role, okay? When we come to the definition of artificial intelligence, it is not new. You can see here, it is coined around 1956. It's not a new term. It's not a new term that, even though it is a buzzword today, last few years, it has been attracting many people, right? But it is not new, okay? It is a very old term coined by around 1956. There are a lot of evaluation happened during the generation. The basic thinking here in the artificial intelligence began with mimicking brain. You know brain system you may be heard about. Even though you are not a biology student now, you are an engineer, right? Working towards lot of MOSFET or something, circuits, right? Basically, most of them may be electronics engineer here. That's why I just mentioned that. Similar to that MOSFET as a basic unit in your VLSI, in our brain we have a neuron, which is a very, very important computation element of the brain, which plays a major role, which has been invented long back during 1950s. It is not new. Around 1943, McCullough and Pitts together, they are just mathematicians and somebody from, he is from a physiologist or some other profession. They are not from engineers domain. The domain is not engineering, okay? Research or innovation can happen from anybody. The lot of gadget will be invented by doctors sometime, okay? Or sometime who just do agriculture, he will develop some good innovation. Don't think that only engineers are contributing to the world of modern technology. But obviously we have high skill with us, so we have to utilize that. We have to encourage the people who are doing, and also we should involve in developing lot of innovations. See, the innovation just comes in mind randomly and suddenly. So they have thought about neurons long back. For that, mathematical modeling of those kind of developments, they didn't had a platform to shine. They have never got much platform. So it was just idle during that time. The neural network, which is now fascinating in the domain of AI, as LLM and other thing. You may have heard about LLMs. Anybody heard about large language models? Have you heard about this generative AI? I think it's very popular. Gen AI? Yes. The backbone of that could be sometime some neural network. Okay? It is nothing but a computation platform. How this is designed, or who designed it? Maybe a lot of development happened by Google or latest companies. But the one who worked long back contributed majorly to the development of basic neuron model. Today, because of that, their contribution, we are enjoying our Gen AI and many other AI tools. A lot of people have sacrificed long back without their names. Their names are seen only in books. If you go to some history of AI, you will get their names. But these are the people, they are the backbone for the technology today. So don't wait for technology to sustain. You should contribute and you have to develop. Maybe tomorrow it will shine. Okay? That is what it is proved based on their work. They have shown that, see, even this guy, computing machinery intelligence, he was working, Alan Turing, and has shown a lot of experiments during that time. That is because of that today we are talking about AI. Okay? So I am not going in deeper into their work. I am just showing glimpse of AI evolution happened during the decades so that if you are interested you can explore further. Okay? But interestingly, we find machine learning has been coined during 1990, etc., that decade. So you heard about deep learning. The terminology, deep learning, machine learning, I think it is popular across world of now AI, right? I think you people heard about that, I believe, right? So these are the words generated during some decades like 4th, 5th generation, right? Especially 5th, we are talking about agentic AI. Agentic AI or generative AI, okay? Okay, what is this agent I am talking about here? I was just mentioning about we are moving towards an era where we are going to talk about agentic AI, okay, or agents. So what is this agent? So in an AI system, we can see that there are some basic blocks I have shown here. An AI agent is nothing but some electronic system, once again, nothing more than that. But it is not only electronics, it has something addition to that. That is what some software, right? Machine learning, deep learning, or some other software is playing around. So with the able procedures included as algorithm there, as we call lot of learning methods. Okay, we call generally in the technology here learning methods. Those learning methods are incorporated in the agent here. Sorry. This agent, whichever shown here, is able to take any kind of decision based on how you incorporate an algorithm called learning algorithm within that. What is that learning algorithm? Anybody? Any idea? So today we learn many things, right, in the classrooms. So if you go to the 3rd semester or 4th semester, you find microcontroller or some MOSFET, right? You learn that. Just in 10 minutes, can you write architecture of that or characteristic of that? May not be possible. You have to pass through all the detail of that, right? Once you understand, then you will be able to recollect and you will be going to take some decision during the examination based on some MOSFET, right? And you will be going to solve a problem also. Yes, correct, no? So you are able to solve many problems in MOSFET circuit or even microcontroller, you can write a program. So given objective such as add 5 numbers and do some operation, if your faculty asks, you are able to write a code. How you are able to write that code? Because you are trained by your teacher, right? So there is a learning method incorporated in yourself during that classroom environment of teaching, right? So it is nothing but teaching learning process we call, right? So we human being having brain will learn every day in the classroom or outside, right? In a similar way, we expect a machine to be trained. AI agents are nothing but some AI machine where you are supposed to train it, okay? You are supposed to make machine to learn. That is called training. So we should be able to have some algorithm where we will be trying to make use of some learning method algorithm to learn within a machine, right? So a machine has to be trained or machine has to be able to learn something new. Then based on the learning, the machine can do some task or decision, right? So let us try to see here. There is one agent which is a machine. It has some sensor. Yes, it has electronics. Okay. And also it has all computing part of that. Your ALU, all this it is having. It is basically an electronics system. With in addition to that, a lot of sensors, lot of memories and so on. Okay. So it also has one more important element called actuator. That also you may be studied in your measurement system subject, right? Actuators. Sensors and actuators along with the decision making in a machine. You may call a machine like computer as an agent. That agent is something can learn from its environment, environments where it is available, right? That is why we have shown here some environment. So any machine, if it is able to learn from the environment regarding certain information, and if it is able to take some decision, then you may call it as some small AI system, okay? Artificial intelligence system will have some basic characteristic which will have some simple sensor or some complicated sensor based on the problem it is going to solve, okay? A AI system could be a simple floor cleaner. You heard about floor cleaners like today it is available in the market. It is also small AI robotic cleaner, right? So it is able to sense floor details, wall details, so on, and it is able to take certain decision of, right? And it is able to do the requirement of cleaning the floor, right? So it is able to do some task of cleaning, right? So AI systems here are something like having machine, sensor, actuators, and it is going to do its task with the environment where it is acting on. The environment can vary from problems to problem. If you are designing a driverless car in Volvo or some other company, then it will be entirely a different problem. And the electronics will be different, algorithm will be different, sensors, actuator, all these will be different. Because driverless car will have a motive to go in certain direction to meet the destination, right? Whereas floor cleaner will have task is different. If I design something robotic surgery related device, it will be something different. So for each device, we need to train the machine with the different inputs. Okay? Like how you learn for various subject. For MOSFET related thing, you study in electronic circuits, right? Whereas architecture of some microcontroller, you study in microcontroller subject or microprocessor subject, right? Why you have multiple subject during your engineering? Similarly, you know, even the branches are different. ECE, right? Triple E or whatever. There are different branches. The intention is to get different application to be satisfied, right? Similarly here, whenever we think about a agentic AI approaches, we are looking for a machine to be trained. See here one robot standing somewhere near the patient here is helping the patient, right, to do his regular activity. Anyway, I just told some of the basic component of AI agent, which will have perceiving capabilities, some reactivity capabilities by having actuators, and it is able to take some decisions by having lot of learning methods or new algorithms which are incorporated with the AI techniques. Okay? In addition to that, it may have some capability of communication, all these things. It depends on the type of agent you are talking about. Okay? So generally agent will have a goal. If you can see here, I have mentioned about agents are goal oriented. Goal oriented. What is goal? When you are playing a cricket, what is your goal? Yeah. Winning the opponent or whoever you are playing with, right? Yes. Maybe you have to, or when you are bowling, you have some target. You have some certain goal, right? When you are batting, you will have certain goal, right? Even agent will have certain goal. Okay? Agent will have certain goal. It will be defined by the designers like you. People like you are going to design agentic AI problem or its task or goal. Okay? You are going to formulate the goal and you will be going to create AI system today. Okay? But if you are going to design certain system, it is very clear you need to have some sensors, some electronic circuit like embedded system within that. Maybe you are not using simple embedded system like 8051. Okay? But however, there are some upgraded version of that will be seen. Okay? In addition to that, a lot of GPU and algorithms, etc. will be there. Once the decision is taken, actuator will be enabled. Sense the information, do some decision, and do some action. These are things a simple AI system will do in generally. Okay? Yeah, it is just a simple categorization of the systems. If you think about AI system, I mentioned some can be floor cleaner or some could be something related to automobile industry or some may be with the hospital, healthcare related, right? So, yeah, coming to here, this system could be generally categorized into three varieties, ANI or AGI or ASI systems. See here, we call some artificial intelligence system as ANI systems or artificial narrow intelligence systems. What are these kind of systems? These are systems like something like simple chat GPT systems. You have seen that, correct, no? Siri kind of tools you may be used, right? Any one of the AI tool you used, can you name other than that? Which one? Gemini. Yeah. Yeah. There are many tools today. Copilot. Yeah. So many are there. It's correct. So we have some of the AI systems which are having capability of thinking less than a human. That we refer it as ANI systems. I was talking about a brain earlier, if you remember, in the beginning of my talk. The fundamental unit of the brain is a neuron. A group of neurons in the brain, we call it as a neural network, biological neural network in the brain that constitutes a brain. Okay? A network of neurons will constitute a brain. When you can mimic a brain, you are mimicking a digitized intelligence with that. Okay? With a network of similar kind, if you can develop, you are trying to make something like artificial intelligence platform. Okay? Something mimicking brain activity, you can create a new agent or new thought thinking capability devices. Okay? Because we are thinking, we are able to think, you know that, you are able to think. Every day you are able to think. Now also many people think many other things, right? Even listening to the talk, you are able to do parallel processing. I am able to listen the talk here as well as you will be able to do something else, right? You are able to do many things. Mobile you can see and even parallelly you can analyze that. So we are able to do parallel processing. Similarly, agents today are able to sense multiple parameters and able to take a decision with a well-known learning algorithms within that, and they are able to provide you variety of services. So when you see these systems, I said weak AI system, we are in the era of somewhere weak AI to getting into strong AI. What is that strong AI? So it is something like AGS system we call artificial general systems, where we are able to think, we are able to do some decision, no? Like that if a machine can able to think. Say if you are able to develop a machine which is able to do some activity like a human being, then you call that system very similar to AGI system. You got the difference between ANI and AGI? ANI system generally will have thinking capabilities lesser than human. Okay? Like ant. You know ant or elephant? It is not like us. Do you feel elephant can take decision like us? No. Why? Can you guess? Can an ant can take decision like us? No. Why? Please analyze that. Is the brain is same size? Our brain is bigger in size. Number of neurons are higher. Okay? Just explore that. Yeah. Anyway, strong AI system, we are moving towards where we are trying to come up with lot of driverless car, self-driven aircrafts, right? Drones, all these things. So we are moving towards now AGI systems, era of AGI system. So we have never entered now much into the third area, which the number I have not put here. It is ASI, Artificial Super Intelligence. We will be moving towards, in next decade, towards ASI platform. People are like Elon Musk, you heard about, right? Yes. His company, like anyway, Google also working. Many companies are working towards moving towards ASI systems. What is that ASI? Artificial Super Intelligence Systems. So agentic AI generate, that is what we are moving with, that kind of systems. So what is that? ASI systems. Coming to the definition of ASI, any idea? What do you mean by ASI system? It will have thinking capability more than human being. It may be able to think like 10 people, 100 people, 1,000 people, or lakh people. Okay? If you can design a system which can think like a mass, as a group here, instead of thinking like you individual, if a system can think based on power of all of your brain, just imagine what it can do. If it can think like some 100 doctors, what it can do. Or if it can design some new device or new innovation like 100 scientists, just imagine what can happen. That is what ASA is talking about. Artificial super intelligence. How it is possible, can you guess? This ASI platform, how we can enter? Without electronics, it is not possible. All the backbone for this ASI system or AGI system is electronics. That is why VLSI getting boom once again. You know, VLSI is attracting more in the industry now. Why? AI also growing. Both together. Because lot of improvement in the hardware is required there, right? Computation. Maybe quantum computing also may overcome the requirement of whatever happening, right? Anyway. So ASI, any doubts? It is a future technology we are getting soon. Anyway, if I don't work or you don't work, it will happen. Elon Musk already started working on that. Okay? Yeah, one important thing, message here, whenever we are going with the much and much, yes, systems like ASI, even there are a lot of ethical practices which are taken to be care by young generation. Okay? That you have to explore parallelly. So these AI systems generally will have these 5 components. I was just mentioning in my first 1 or 2 slide, during the first 1 or 2 slide also. It will have learning component, reasoning component, problem solving capabilities, perception, language understanding. If you have a system with all these components, it may be a simple AI system. Even with the modified elements of such kind of blocks can help you to develop a very good agentic AI system. Okay? I think this kind of diagram all of you seen, this is from, say whenever we say AI, even the terminology, we heard many other terminology associated with that, like many other learning methods like machine learning, deep learning, generative AI, LLM, right? So on. What is machine learning? That is what I was telling. Like how you are learning in the classroom. If you can train a machine, right? Then the process of training we call a simple machine learning algorithm, right? How we can make a machine to understand what's happening in its environment, right? That is what going to help us to develop the decision making system here. So in a nutshell, if you see here, one important thing what required is data. If you want to train any of the machine, we need enormous number of data, a good number of data, unbiased data we call, or balanced data. I used many terminology, each could be explained for an hour. Okay, sorry, I am not going into that. So, but you heard about data. In generally, data is a very popular one. People are using it for machine learning, deep learning, all these things. Why these data are used by these learning algorithms? Any idea? Anyone? Why data is required for training a system? Any idea? Yeah. So it is to understand what decision you have to take, right? So you are able to write your exam. That is why I just said, simple example of MOSFET or something if you take, you are able to learn the MOSFET and given a question on MOSFET later you are able to think and write some answers, right, during the examination. So once you are able to train a machine is able to understand those patterns. Those patterns are nothing but the data. It could be simple images of all students for a biometric system. If all students' photos are given to a biometric system could be trained for recognizing a student, right? I don't know whether the biometric system is there for student now here, but faculty it is there anyway. Yeah. So it is able to, biometric system is able to recognize any person, right? If it is trained with some people photograph or fingerprint. This is something training process we are associated with the machine, with which training or learning process we call, with which the machine is able to learn something. So that is why we have shown here data is very important, which also we call some pattern of interest. If you want to train for certain disease classification, I have to take two kind of disease related patterns. If you want to classify certain noises in a communication system, then you are supposed to collect those noise data. Okay? So whichever the data, your signal or any image or any kind of big data you're talking about, any of the information you want to process, right? You should collect in advance and you should understand, you should thoroughly understand that. You have to visualize, you have to understand. Once you understand your patterns, you may be able to train a machine in generally. We call, with the training data, we try to build a system. Okay? Similarly, with another set of data which is unknown to the machine, we are going to test. That is how your examination system works. You will be trained during the classes, and that is the first phase which is shown upper. Training data is nothing but the data used for training the machine to learn. They use some patterns. Using a pattern set, a machine is trained. There is nothing but the classroom teaching you are doing, right? You are attending the class and you are learning. End of the semester, you will be called for examination, right? That examination is nothing but happening something like this in the bottom, right? Testing the data. They give some question paper, which is nothing like testing data. And those question paper will be read by you, and what you will be taking some decision. Okay, this could be suitable answer for this. Based on your learning method or based on your incorporation of suitable timings with the subject, right? Or learning content, you will be able to write the answer and you are going to get some mark. One may get A plus. I don't know whether it is CGPA system. Here, CGPA or GPA system, yeah. So you know that somebody may get 90%, somebody may get 60%, or somebody may get 30% also, right? Why it is so? All are reading the same book. You have to ask this question to your teacher. Have you asked any time? Why we are getting different mark when we are reading the same textbook? I think you have to ask this question to every teacher. They will tell you the proper answer. If I am not wrong, I think all of you know this, right? I think all of you know the answer for this. I am not going to explain. Anybody need answer? Or you will be answering something? Why student will get different marks? No idea? Huh? Limited data. See, sir is telling that because you are acquiring limited data. Yes, it is true. See, students are sometimes acquiring limited data. They are reading only some notebook. One person may be just reading only half the notebook. The other student may be going to read textbook and notebook. The other student may be reading all these along with some videos of NPTEL or some SWAYAM courses. Maybe he is going to score 90 plus. The difference is simple. The data accumulation for learning. Sir rightly told that. So the data accumulation is very important for learning. So learning process needs lot of data. If you can put a lot of patterns of suitable category, a machine can be more intelligent. Okay? The same thing what we do for examination, it is the same thing the machine also expect. Today to generate a AI system, we need abundant data. Have you heard about that? See, for example, one of the team from UK, they contacted us. Can you give some data on Alzheimer? Because we are short with the data. Because in UK, they have very less patient, less people. From India, can you be a center and can you collect some data and can you give us? Okay? Why they are asking data? There are many people from abroad started asking now, give the data. Can you guess why? India has huge population, large number of data. They want these data for training their machine, for the future machine like ASI. For training the future machine, it is not enough to collect only the data of such only UK people. Because if you collect only UK people data and if you feed it to machine, it will not function in India. When they launch their system in India, it will not function. Do you aware of that? It will be called biasing. If data with the diversity you have to feed before training. Otherwise, if the data collection is not done with diversity or with different categories, with different regions, it may even bias the decision. If anybody, if you heard about one of the Modi talk recently where he went into a summit somewhere in France, he was talking about bias. I could not play here because of the short of time. I am really surprised to hear his speech. He was talking very nicely about biasing of training. See, without knowledge of technology, he is talking very nicely about biasing. Anybody know about biasing of data? Please raise your hand. Modi knows that. I am not appreciating him as a... This is what I found in that AI talk. Even I shared that slide or video to my students. See, he understood what is biasing of data, which is only possible to understand by developers. What is that biasing? Biasing can happen when you train the machine. If I train with only left-hand data, when you start analyzing right-hand scripts, it may do some wrong decisions. That is what biasing. If you feed only male data, and if you don't feed the female data, the machine may do misclassifications or its decision could be called wrong. The decision taken by a machine can be wrong if you are not going to put appropriate balanced data of right categories. See, there are a lot of things to understand here in the basics. So, this is what very surprised for me at that point of time. That is why I just mentioned here. But in general, I just told nutshell what is learning. Anyway, when you are going to design a machine, we need to pass through a cycle where a lot of steps need to be done. Step by step, you have to collect the data, appropriate data, which is unbiased. Then you visualize the data, data gathering, data preparation, exploring that, and building the model. And finally, you have to deploy that in the appropriate platforms like cloud or edge devices. Today you may be heard about, you are going to talk in the next 2 days about IoT, all this, no? Edge devices also, right? So they are playing major role today's technology like Operation Sindoor also, right? Edge devices are playing major role. Even decision cannot be taken only in the cloud. Yesterday is one of the newspaper cutting, I thought of putting that, I forgot to put. Actually, one of the scientists was telling, decisions taking at the machine was the earlier style. Then we have started taking decisions at cloud. Now decisions are taken at the edge. Okay? What is edge technology you explore? That is very important. Anyway, just to tell you simply about machine learning, we try to pass some pattern, as we earlier said, say COVID and non-COVID data you take here, maybe the chest x-rays are shown, because during the COVID problem is very interesting. I took one, probably that time one research scholar, and he completed that problem now, but now he is feeling that the COVID is not there. When he is, probably during his last year submission, he found that there is no attraction for COVID problem. But now once again it started, right? Anyway, so we started taking some patterns like COVID pattern. It could be any pattern. It could be chest pattern, or it could be some other patterns, okay? Patterns could be taken because, you know, as a human body, we have many of the biological signals or images could be captured from the body. So there are a lot of patterns when you see body as a subject. So I will not talk about that, all those things in generally. So we consider one chest X-ray here. So suppose you are considering a machine learning. What we do is we extract some features from this chest X-ray. Maybe, anybody worked on image processing? Okay, leave that. You have a chest X-ray. We are extracting some of the features from that. What do you mean by feature is? Feature is some basic attribute or characteristic from that image. We may be going to extract some gray level of that or some signatures from the image. And those signatures we call as features. We extract this and we provide that as input to the classifier or models. That is what we do in the machine learning procedures. Say learning methods, maybe sometime machine learning. During machine learning, we try to make some simple feature extraction. Feature extraction could be something, removal of some basic attributes from the given pattern. Those pattern could be based on the input data. Okay? As I said, from the image here, we can extract some basic gray level or some radio mix features. It could have around 100 in number. I am not going to explain that. So those features could be given to the models which you decide to be used, maybe some neural network, say. It's a neural network symbol. Okay? Say a neural network model if you are using, have you heard about CNN? Maybe it is a CNN model. Okay? So it can be trained with these patterns to say that whether the input is a COVID image or not. It can be done only if you can train in advance. So training is an important phase. When you train, the machine will learn. Once the machine learns, it's able to think. And if the machine is able to take a decision after thinking, it's able to suitably give you the right answer whether X-ray is with a COVID patient or a normal person, right? See, even COVID-like symptoms many were there during the COVID. I heard many, even I remember one of my student, he was calling while going in the ambulance during 19. I remember, sir, I am being taken towards hospital. Maybe it is my last call. I remember still, but he is alive now. Don't worry. So he was just, because that day, I remember that, I think all of you know that, this situation, right? It was very difficult. If somebody is taken to hospital, there is no guarantee that they are coming back. He just called, I still remember that, that is why I just told here. He was just calling that day and telling that, crying, sir, I am being taken to hospital. It may be my last call. I still remember that sentence. Okay, anyway, sorry to distract. This is what machine learning, where the machine will be trained with some features. Whereas in case of deep learning, we don't use any separate feature extractor. We directly give the patterns to the machine or neural network. The neural network itself can extract the features. So it has higher capabilities. Okay? So deep learning is a more attracting model today because of less task for the designer sometime. Yeah. I think I will just quit this. There are different methods of learning. The classroom learning, what you are going to do from a teacher, is said to be here supervised learning. I just gave one example how we can learn from X-ray, right? So if you know the X-ray image which is used for training as normal and pneumonia or COVID, then if you use the label data to a model during training, we call that it is a supervised method. Like with the teacher, how you learn in the classroom, right? That is called a supervised method. If you try to go with unknown data, which is not labeled, suppose you gather some X-rays from patient and directly you use that for training, in that case, those learning methods are said to be unsupervised methods. Just explore if you are interested. But in both the models, today it is possible to say the given X-ray image is pneumonia or COVID or normal, right? Because of large number of gathering the data as well as lot of models advantage of that. So this is one of the work which we published with the dengue I just put for, just to show that it is possible to do any classification problem with simple technique by extracting some simple parameter from the blood. For example, if you want to classify some disease like dengue, right? So what is classification? It is just categorization, okay? Just to say that it is normal or dengue. If you want to do that, you can just collect some data, digitize data of any blood, and even you can do that in multiple phases or multiple ways. It could be using supervised methods, unsupervised methods, or any of the methods. So we have multiple approaches for doing that. I don't know how much you can understand if I go in deep, but we did here using very simple, you know about some simple methods like if-else rule. That is the simplest way of decision taking. No machine learning required. In some cases only if-else rule also will work out. If condition is true, you take a decision as this, normal. If condition is false, you take a decision as abnormal. This could be done. But in some cases, yes, obviously we may have to go with the machine learning or deep learning when the data is more uncertain. When the data is more uncertain. What is that uncertainty? Right? If the data is more doubtful to take a decision, then the machine is able to do precisely. See, what is the advantage of computer? I think all of you know that. Computer helps us to do a precise operation, right? So that is where we are trying to make use of in AI, this computer, right? In machine learning here, and it is similarly we worked with some other techniques. Anyway, I will quit this. This is another application. How much time I have? 10 minutes. 5 to 10 minutes I can have quickly. Yeah. Yeah. So I am not going to touch many of the basics here. Next I will just go through some application. So I think you understood what is machine learning basically and what is deep learning basically, right? So machine learning is a procedure where we extract feature and we train the machine. Whereas deep learning is a procedure, we may directly give the image or patterns to the machine. It may start exploring the input or patterns, okay? And it will explore the features. Even it is going to explore the features. So one such kind of example even I just put here, one of publication of ours, which is COVID already we told. I will go to another data. I think I will just quit all these applications. I will go to some other. This already I just discussed related to dengue. Whether you need, I don't think we have time to discuss the details. I'll just quit it. See, you can design any of the machine learning or deep learning algorithms and you can design some technique for identifying or diagnosing or detecting a disease, okay? Suppose you are looking for detection of a disease or diagnosing a disease. It is possible to design a platform using machine learning or deep learning. It's a very abstract level of development. Can you connect this with the ANI or ASI or I told 3 category of AI system. What are the 3 category of AI system? Can you recollect? ANI, narrow system. AGI, general system. Artificial super intelligence. What I was mentioning, what is the work we did recently, all these are just belong to the first category. Okay? Our research is very preliminary level there. Okay? But what we are going to further are with the AGI and ASI. Anyway, even when you develop a model like deep learning, today a lot of functions or methods have been derived and given to you to explore whether a model is performing really as per your need or not. That could be explored with explainable AI techniques. Even there are XAI methods. I'm just keeping it to open by you when you're doing some machine learning or deep learning methods. Say 1 decade back when we are trying to develop a neural model, we just design and we get result, we just publish it. But today it is not enough if you develop some model. You have to ensure the publisher that your model is correctly, rightly selected the features. You know what it is? If you are trying to tell that a given pattern is a dengue or a given sample is COVID, how you selected that sample as COVID, you should be able to justify with your model parameters. How you can justify that? That is with the XAI models, XAI methods. Explainable AI techniques will help you to uncover the models. If you have a black box deep learning models, it could be uncovered or it could be explored further to explain that this model has selected certain features and these significant features, because of that it is telling that it is dengue. If you are able to tell this, doctor will agree that your product is right one. Otherwise, if you just show a deep learning model to doctor, a clinical evaluation during that, he will not accept it. In order to accept your model, you have to justify that it will be clinically valid with the clinical parameters. You should prove that the model is going to consider those clinical parameters for classification. That could be possible today with the XAI methods. Just explore this further. Okay. See, one example I am just showing. In one of the case, we are able to particularly target, in case of dengue, to the one of the cell there shown. It is what selected by our model. Okay. The red region indicates that that is what the selection done by the model. Okay. So I am not going to explain much here. You just explore. GradCam is one of the method under XAI help you to do some XAI approach of implementation in case of deep learning. Okay. Just if you are doing a project, you can explore. Otherwise, just quit it. I will quit this. This is how some pain-related analysis we did with some of the backbone related information. I will quit this. I don't think we'll have sufficient time for. Anyway, I've just spoken about supervised, unsupervised learning. The other one, third one, important one is the reinforcement learning. Okay. So AI will not complete without that. Okay. So AI has potential abilities today because of this, where the agent is going to learn from certain input with some reward or some prompt. Okay. The given prompt, from that, it is going to think that it is a reward or a positive reward or negative reward, and it is able to learn. There is a mechanism called reinforcement learning, something like how you learn balancing a simple stick on your hand, right? If you keep your pen on hand, initially you may not able to hold it straight, but if you practice every day, tomorrow you are able to hold it vertical, right? For a few seconds at least. Anyway, there are a lot of other technology coming in parallel with that today. So there are a lot of neural network based technology has been even deep learning. Further, when it is expanded with higher networks, right, large language models have been introduced. So I'm not going to in detail of that. But this technology could be used in our healthcare in various ways. I'm just giving some application of that. So recently one of my students worked on one of the problem called, see, you know, all of you know that you are going to hospital sometime and give a blood drop, right, for testing. Even it could be visualized in the under a microscope. But anybody aware of that they are putting some stain during observation? If you don't know, you can go and watch once, okay? So they are putting some drop of stain to visualize the cells in that. But one of my students worked in L&T, she is working towards virtual staining with the generative AI technology. So she just implemented an algorithm for putting instead of putting a drop of stain, she is doing it algorithm wise, okay? using generative AI. Let us not get into the detail right now. So that is one area where you can explore virtual training. These are the upcoming area in digital pathology we call. See, we are going to have all the healthcare areas digitization. Radiology has been digitized long back. Okay? You heard about radiology department? It talks about CT, MR, all this, which has been digitized a decade back. Very well, systems are there. But pathology is the one where the data size is enormous. Still, it is not digitized 100%. One or two applications for oncology has been digitized, but there are many areas still. Challenges are still pending to be explored. Even there are many other areas where you can discover the drug or find out the drug. You know that earlier days we used to go with, even COVID time, I think all of you remember that. The first medicine, whatever, what is that, we got, what is the company? Covaxin, yes. Covaxin or Covishield, right? They took some time for giving the vaccine for you, right? How many months it took? When they released the vaccine, without much testing, they released it. You heard about that? The sensitivity was, I remember on the newspaper, the sensitivity of that test was only 62%. Only 62% they have put in the newspaper. Still they released the drug. Why? Vaccine has been released to the market because of emergency. What is that 62% talks about? It's just above 50%. Correct, no? 62% is only 12% higher than 50%. It is not near to 90%, remember. With that risk, they launched these products into the market. Why they could not have testing so early before launching? Can you guess? This needs its own computation powers and lot of other things, challenges. Today with the generative AI and other technologies, people are trying to discover the drug. They are looking to discover the drug with the computational methods, where you can try to discover for a certain infection, certain combination of this, what could be the suitable drug. If you can come out with that, yes, tomorrow you may be able to find out vaccine next day. You don't need to go for. AI will be a boom in that way. In healthcare, AI can be a big achievement if we can try to provide a drug for a suitable candidate for his problem. Still, based on his problem, we are not providing. Anyway, this I will quit it. There is one more important, interesting area is virtual radiology. Even generative AI is trying to help us to generate a lot of reports. Even you know that when you enter into the hospital, doctor or some PG will write report. Tomorrow, with the AI system, if your system is going to scan, or if your system is going to do some screening of sample, everything will be digitized with the details. Report has been generated quickly. Okay? So virtual assistants in radiology or other departments could be seen soon by AI tools, which can eliminate many pages and other works. Right? Yes. Anyway, this model is expected to be trained with sometime hybrid patterns. I will quit this. Lot of ethical issues are there. Even ethical parameters are still not standardized across world. So there are a lot of summit happening recent in France, as I said. Even our Prime Minister visited, all the Prime Ministers of different countries visited there. All the CEOs are there in the conference. They were talking about how to standardize these ethics. Because today you are developing an algorithm and launching a product quickly to the market with the AI tool. Where is the security for usage of this with the environment? You know, the systems are very transparent. Whenever they acquire a lot of data, your information will be shared with that system. Who is going to protect your personal information, right? That is what a big challenge today. So because of this new generation of AI, a lot of things has to be considered. There are a lot of challenges Even when we say AI as a buzzword, it is easy. And implementation also could be possible because of the electronics development, as I said. Tomorrow, you are able to develop many applications. But one important thing when we see, there are a lot of side effects, I say sometimes. What is that side effect? When you are doing some development, there will be alternate. So when you take a medicine, there are some side effects. All of you aware of that? You take a medicine for a certain thing, it will do side effect. Your doctor also knows that, it will give the side effect. He gives that medicine to you. Why? Do you know why? His immediate action is to cure your disease, that's all. He wants to kill the disease. While killing the disease, he will damage something else also sometime. Okay, that's why unnecessary you don't take the medicine. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, AI is going to help in this aspect also. I will quit this. Anyway, Gemini also help in a lot of ways to do medical classifications because there are a lot of AI tools coming up. I'm quitting this. This also I will quit it because we work today with multiple modalities together. The problems people in the companies have started thinking about how we can integrate the systems. Earlier we used to have CT, MR separate systems. A patient suppose want to look for some information from the CT, he has to go to CT department. Then he has to gather MR information from the MRI department. Have anybody heard about these devices? You heard about CT, MR? They belongs to different departments, okay, different devices. See, suppose you want to get different scans from different departments, patient has to move around. It will take 2 days to finalize all the scans and testing. By the time the patient has to suffer, right? To avoid this today, people are thinking about integrating all this together. If in future, if you can integrate all this together, you have to go to one department, have the scanning, all the together details, AI system able to screen, and doctor is able to take a decision within a half an hour or 1 hour. I think your service will be far better. Patient's service, when we are talking about, it could be provided in a more simple way and faster, and recovery also will be quicker. When you try to treat a disease in an advanced stage, finally the result of that also will be faster. Instead of worsened condition, if you can treat in early stage sometime, it could be cured early. So that is why, so we are able to integrate the system today with AI, all this, it is possible. Anyway, let us not go into detail of that. One more thing I want to importantly tell this point. See, earlier we used to have individual medicine for individual problem by individual group. Now, if AI comes, it's able to take your blood parameter or scan detail, and it is able to give you treatment plan for your problem, which is unique. Because your blood cell, your physiology, you know what is physiology? Your heart rate could be different. Your body characteristics, there are a lot of chemicals in the body, aware of that? There are a lot of biochemicals. You have a lot of cells. All these characteristics from person to person, it is different. Then how a common medicine will be able to help you to treat? This is what they are thinking. If AI can solve this, the current medicine could be, in the future, can be thought of something different. If you go to the hospital, he will get one medicine, he will get another medicine for the fever. Because the fever and the condition and health condition, his other parameters of vital parameters, or his body biochemicals, or his genetical issues, okay? I mean his or her, don't think only his. It could be for a subject, in generally we call subject. If you don't understand subject, that is why I just thought of telling he or his. So in case of a subject, if these vital parameters are different, you may not be able to treat with a common medicine. So AI can be a right method to decide what is your right medicine, okay? So that is why personalized care or personalized medicine is the future where AI is playing a major role. Anyway, surgery is one more area. This one, the last slide, I just want to highlight that, yes, Mahesh sir already mentioned that in his talk. He has done some homework before coming to the stage, I realized. Sir already told that AI is playing a major role in the hospital. China has already come up with one complete AI hospital where no doctors, no nurses, no testing manual procedures, all are automatic. I think you may be heard about this. It is not new. 6 months back only people started functioning here with the AI tools. So it is a testing stage hospital, agent-based hospital. AI agents are working here. AI nurses, AI doctors, AI surgeons, AI clinicians. So all departments related tasks will be by AI agents. Agentic AI is playing a major role. So we are moving towards ANI. That is what it is indicating. We are moving towards ANI. ANI to ASI, maybe in your near future. Now this is close to ASI, where majority work will be taken care by the machine itself. When automated decision will be taken by machine without interfere of manual procedures, so it should be able to think like better than us, then only we will live, or FDI will give a permission to that. Have you heard about FDI or some regulatory committees? There are a lot of regulatory committees across the world. Okay. These are very strict. Healthcare products cannot be launched immediately once you design. It's not like other commercial usage, like if you want to measure number of waste bottles in the corridor or counting some of the things which is left out. If you design a new tool with a camera or something as a new product, that could be immediately sold by you. Nobody will block it. A commercial usage is possible. But when you are thinking a healthcare product, it's not easy. You have to think about, go with the regulatory issues. Because you are designing devices for human welfare, that is in line with the SDG 3, Sustainable Development Goal of 3. Okay? So this is very important that we are supposed to take care about what is the even AI agent, what is next, what they are going to help, that is one thing. Even regulatory is another aspect, has to be focused. I don't want to discuss much about that right now. It is already late. Yes, sorry. I'll quickly finish it in 1 or 2 minutes. Sorry. 1 or 2 slides are there. I think this is one more important area. You have to give a lot of electronic systems, old age care. I'm just telling the title for you. You have to explore because today, because of the robotic, which is nothing but heart of your electronics system, right? You are going to design these systems, robotic systems, which will help us to care the elderly people, right? Because you know that today elderly people will be staying alone and children will be staying somewhere US or somewhere else, right? So it's a very required need of our agents. You have to plan such kind of thing in some of the tools. I think I will quit it. So this is a market which people are expecting to have in near future. A lot of growth in the market for AI products, right? Anyway, I'll quit this. I will come to the summary. Yeah, I think I will quickly summarize it. I was just talking with the basics of learning methods and how it is important in a AI approach without much dealing with technological details. So any doubts if you have, you can ask, or you can always contact me for doing any project, or if you want to further investigate something in healthcare side. We have Kasturba Medical College nearby. We have, even you have Srinivas Hospital, right? You can collect your data from there, and you can also explore a lot of new methods or new solutions you can develop. So think about using this AI assistive technology for good or good health. For good, I am telling, like what is for good, explore that. You have to use it for society benefits and for good. Don't use it for distractions. Even though sometimes it should be used along with like Operation Sindhura, we used it. Yes, it is for defensive mechanism. Yes, it is required. Even our body, you know that, lot of defensive mechanism is there. Like that for our country also we require. It's required. But other than that, yes, it should be used in a protected manner as a transparent system. I think that will help us to keep our society very safe. So, any questions? If you have, I can try to address in one or two questions we can have because already late. Yeah. Any questions? Quick questions. No question? Already you are tired, okay. No problem. I will pass anyway my email to sir. They will be having, if any questions or further any doubts if you find in the area when you are doing some project. You can always come or you can always contact us. Thank you. Thank you for the patient listening. Even though it may be very quick and very abrupt, some of the slides have not explained much. I think I'm very happy that you are listening carefully. You got some glimpse of idea about lot of developments happening in the healthcare. I'm very happy to say that thank you for listening. Okay, thanks for.
So, thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Niranjan, for having a wonderful session. I also thank all the students for listening. I hope you have got lot of inputs. So after this, at 1:45 today, we are going to have a talk from Dr. Shramagant Kumar from University of Technology and Applied Sciences, Ibra, Oman. So I request all the students to assemble back here at 1:45, sharp at 1:45. Please come. I think students, you can have your lunch in your hostel or in your PG. Members, study members as well as electrical members, you can join us for lunch. Others, you please have your lunch and come back. Everybody has to come. I hope this session was useful, and afternoon you will have the session on leveraging IoT, explainable AI and 5G to connect the unconnected, enabling advanced smart ambulance communication in rural emergency medical service. Thank you.